Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making an absolutely delicious green, fresh pesto with a bit of a twist. Instead of the more expensive pine nuts, we are going to be using oven-roasted walnuts. Roasted walnuts, in my opinion, are a pantry essential and are fast becoming one of my favorite ingredients, be it for savory or sweet dishes. And today I'm going to show you how to use them in a pesto. Let's get started. We're going to start by picking our basil. If you don't have a basil plant, you can totally use store-bought basil. We're going to start by removing the leaves from the stems and then discarding the stems. We're then going to thoroughly rinse the leaves. This is to make sure that there aren't any bugs or there isn't any dirt or dust stuck to them. Once you've got all your leaves nice and clean, we're going to leave them to dry slightly. In the meantime, we're going to chop 4 cloves of garlic. You don't have to worry about the consistency of the chop here. We just need a rough chop. You can slice them, you can chop them, you can dice them. It's all going to break down evenly in the mortar and pestle. We're going to add the garlic into the mortar and then bring in our basil leaves, taking care to remove as many of the stems as possible because the stems are very difficult to break down. Now you can start pounding with your pestle until you have enough room to add more basil, then proceed to add more basil. You can add a pinch or 2 of salt here. The salt is going to help break down the basil and the garlic, and the 1/4 cup of roasted walnuts. Continue pounding down and then adding more basil and then pounding down and then adding more basil, and well, you get the idea. Once you've got all your basil in there, it's time to bring in the cheese. We're going to be using 90 grams of parm. I'm not using parm in this video. I'm using some hard Gouda that I had lying around from the lovely artisan cheese factory in Lahore, but you should use parm. Really, you can use any hard cheese, but if there's one thing you should use Parmesan for, it's pesto. We're just going to grate the parm and add it to the pesto a little bit at a time, pounding in between. So once you have all your ingredients pounded out in the mortar and pestle, I find it's easier to finish this in a food processor. Pounding in a mortar is definitely a far better way to extract flavors from garlic and basil, but a food processor is an excellent way to form an emulsion. So I find that using a combination of the mortar and pestle and the food processor is a great way to make a pesto. That being said, if you're in a rush, you can totally do the whole thing in a food processor, or if you're a purist, you can totally do the whole thing in the mortar and pestle. So in the video, while the machine is on, I've drizzled in a 1/2 cup of olive oil, and after tasting, I'm going to add a few more walnuts and a little bit more salt, and then give the whole thing one final blitz, and your pesto is done. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really do hope you give this recipe a try. Pesto comes together very quickly and is a wonderful condiment for a wide variety of dishes. I like to put it in burgers, top my pizzas with it instead of a marinara, and you can even mix it with some pasta water and just stir it into your spaghetti. It's delicious. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and do leave a comment below. Your feedback is very important and it really helps me improve these videos and improve my recipes for you. Until we meet again, be safe, be happy, and eat well.